One of my very first projects was to design a toothbrush, a kid's toothbrush. Brushes at that time typically were just a stick with bristles at the end, which was pretty boring. So we introduced other materials to it and we made the handle thick. And in the end, it became a really successful product. But my boss, maybe half a year after we launched the brush, went on a vacation. The idea was to go to the most remote beach. And the way Paul tells the story is like the next morning he steps out of the tent and he wants to go to the pristine beach, you know, whales frolicking and all perfect. And what does he stumble over is our toothbrush. And it's there, and it's this brush. It's covered in barnacles, the plastic is faded, the bristles are worn. This brush, within months of the product being launched, had been used up, had been discarded, found its way into the Pacific. So even though it's a little small object, it creates a big piece of landfill that apparently goes just about everywhere.
Let's go ahead and actually start defining some of the challenges and some of the questions that we might be asking ourselves. You know, is there any toothbrush that we would actually feel comfortable washing up on the beach?
So much of a toothbrush does not need to be disposed of, right? It's really like you put the bristles in your mouth, the rest of it's all like cleanable materials. Why are we tossing out all this stuff every time?
There could be the greatest handle in the world because if you only use one handle in your lifetime, you could make it out of sterling silver.
Right.
It could be this heirloom thing,
Right, yeah,
and then you just replace the heads, and the heads could be.
I think also the solution of the toothbrush assumes that only approach to oral care, or one of the main approaches to oral care, is through the toothbrush.
What if we didn't need toothbrushes? What could it be?
Yeah.
Push it back, so then if you go up and down, it's like scoop down.
When I first started the company, the role of industrial designer was primarily about the kind of aesthetics or the kind of cleverness around function, but it was always as a minor piece of, the company was in charge of the major piece of doing everything, and we were kind of hired guns to complete some aspect.
The question is actually not what's the new toothbrush, but what is the future of oral care?
Fortune cookie with floss inside.
That's right.
As we grew, it became clear that companies were happy for us to do a more and more of the actual design of the overall product.
I don't know, I'm just really enamored with the idea of like doing teeth cleaning at NASCAR.
I kind of think of it as they kind of do analytical thinking, and we do this kind of innovative or design thinking where we're more focused on kind of user-centered ideas, you know, stuff that'll resonate with the people who are going to actually use the product.
If you have one indicator,
We kind of come in from the point of view of what do people value? What are their needs? And it just results in different products.
You get the bale and you get these things and you break them apart, something like a wishbone or something, I don't know. It's kind of like a...
I think that's the big design challenge here is like, there's a lot of things that we care about and cleaning our teeth is probably not high on that list.
Right.
Yeah, I think the wishbone is nice, but I take the real shape of a wishbone.
Design thinking is a way to systematically be innovative. We do these things, you know how some people make lists. Designers make what I call mind maps, where they keep going further and further. You get something leads to something else, which leads to them, and as you're branching out, you're getting to new ground where your mind has never taken you before, and that's where kind of interesting design stuff happens in my mind.